The social acceptance of a younger guy dating an older lady has changed dramatically over the years. One idea you've been considering is dating an older woman who also has affection for you. The woman you have feelings for may be significantly older than the ladies you usually date. If you've ever thought about dating someone older or are in such a relationship and want some tips on how to make it work better for you, this video is for you. The challenges of dating an older woman will be discussed today. Hopefully, we'll be able to give you an unbiased assessment of why, in a situation like this one, it's important to consider both of the relevant perspectives that will help you decide whether or not it's a good idea to date a woman who is several decades your senior or whether or not it's preferable for you to stick to dating women who are closer to your own age. Many people have put pen to paper to share the profound impact love has had on their lives. These accounts prompt introspection into the various ways in which love has an effect on each of us. In our eagerness to discover the one, we could overlook important safety cues and put ourselves in harm's way. If you put yourself in a relationship with an older lady, you're putting yourself in harm's way and should be ready for an unpleasant and inevitable breakup. There are many warning signs that can signal it's time to leave a relationship. You should be on the lookout for these possible warning signs. Due to your age difference from his girlfriend, you hold a lesser place in his heart. Since his girlfriend is older than you, it's natural that the two of you are at different stages of life and careers. This is especially true because they may be more receptive to the idea of a similar connection at that stage, even if it falls short of your ideal. A bucket from this world will do if you aren't choosy, but it won't help you out in the long run. Given your age difference, there will always be some degree of contrast in your shared experiences. You need to be more patient and open to her challenges, and treat her with the same respect you give to anyone else. But if they can't fix their issues and keep laying the responsibility on you, it's time to accept that it's not your fault. It's time to get rid of this ship. Maintaining calm and order is always very appreciated, so thank you for your efforts. They disappeared even more rapidly after a couple additional prods. The male and female spouse seekers share same goals. Both men and women are looking for someone to love and protect them. The lady you're seeing might only reappear when it's convenient for her, so if she disappears for long periods of time, especially when you need her the most, you should be wary. That could be a sign of how much she doesn't care about or even laughs at the whole thing. This sort of behavior, which she displays when it suits her, could be indicative of her clear disinterest and derision in the matter. Don't pay attention to the fact that my buddy keeps trying to escape from you. If you really need her help, then she will pay attention to you. A woman who seems like she would be fun to hang out with could instead be the sort who play mind games for no apparent reason. This means you'll need to actively chase her attention, whether it's to have an honest conversation with them or to exert some form of control over them, and it's on you to do so at whatever cost to your sanity this may entail. This conclusively demonstrates that she is trying to make you laugh by joking about it. It's finished now, and your rescuer will arrive shortly. Breaking up is never easy, but it's critical to know when it's necessary to preserve your own interests, sanity, and well-being. Doing so will teach you to pay attention to red signs and never put the needs of others before your own. Because you're dating an older woman, people will naturally draw conclusions about you. The vast majority of people will be happy for you, even if you do expect some people to evaluate you more harshly. On the other hand, you've discovered someone who can truly brighten your day, make you feel special, and fill you with joy. This person can help you in all these ways, but there will always be naysayers who insist there's more to age than chronological years. They may whisper about you and your partner behind your back, or even admit it publicly when the situation becomes dire. Predicting the occurrence of an event like this is not always possible. It might come from those who aren't supposed to be involved in your life, like strangers, or it can come from those who are closest to you, like strangers. There will be a lot of weight put on the fact that you and the woman you're seeing aren't the same age. People of all ages don't have much to say, and this is obvious if you look closely enough. Couples with an age gap of fewer than 7 years are generally accepted by society. After 7 years, dissatisfaction becomes noticeable. After a year has passed, it's normal for other people's beginning dates to diverge from yours. It's safe to assume that you and your spouse are at different points in your lives at this point. For the purposes of this definition, older ladies refers to any female who is older than the person performing the talking. In other words, the difficulties they are facing are not necessarily going to be the difficulties you are facing right now. For instance, someone may worry about their health if there is a large age gap between you two. Women's goals change dramatically between the ages of 20 and 30, and again between the ages of 40 and 50, yet at any given age, they all have the same professional and financial opportunities and challenges. While a woman in her 20s might not have given much consideration to retirement planning, by the time she reaches her 40s, these worries have become among her top sources of worry. We could go on giving examples, but I believe you get the point. The concept is that you may need to deal with some very simple problems, financial or otherwise, sooner rather than later. When you're on your own, you might have to mature considerably faster than you expected because you're dealing with issues that would normally affect someone many years older than you. Females of a particular age may be carrying around extra baggage. A few extra pounds are something that nearly everyone gains as they progress through life. To varying degrees, we all have our own unique sets of belongings that we lug around with us. Recognize and embrace your maturity as a woman. There is the possibility of negative implications. There could be unfavorable associations with this term. Perhaps she's had problems in the past with her marriage, either because of her kids or a shady partner. Does that cause you to have any doubts about how wonderful a person she is? Although we realize not everyone will agree with us, we nevertheless believe that your life experiences have shaped who you are now. There are probably a lot of ways in which she would be utterly different from you. How her life might change if she never had to face adversity again is something to ponder. If you accept her baggage, what precisely are you saying? An ability to strike up a conversation with any lady who is willing to put up with your baggage, presuming you can cope with her baggage, is essential if you wish to date an older woman. Just because you want to have a family doesn't mean you have to immediately start treating her kids like slaves or acting abnormally. To rephrase, be ready for anything that comes your way. There may be difficulties in starting a family with your significant other if she is significantly older than you because of the limitations of her reproductive system. There are a number of risks to a woman's health that could be disastrous if she has children later in life. If you choose a younger woman with a greater reproductive rate, you won't have to worry about this. Perhaps what she needs is beyond your means at the moment. The implication that you are not as great as you say you are is not meant as an insult. We are not claiming that no middle-aged or older women would find dating a younger man appealing. Rather, we are saying that there are such women. Women, on the other hand, will always want access to the expertise and life lessons that men alone can provide. Even if there appears to be a lot of really good physical chemistry between them, which women in their age range will they be able to date? In actuality, it hinders any serious discussion of the issue at hand. That's not what I mean by a close relationship. If you try to reinvent yourself if something like this happens to you, you seem to have forgotten how very lucky you are to be young and healthy. As you can see, there are many facets of yourself that could be sacrificed for a younger husband if you choose to date an older woman. If you're interested in dating an older woman, you should bear this in mind. Due to the unique nature of each case, we are unable to provide advice that would apply to all of them. If you want my opinion, the burden of proof is on you to show that the possible benefits outweigh the potential negatives. If you have any special queries or concerns, you can always turn to this channel for tailored advice. You should carefully evaluate all of the adverse aspects of dating an older woman that I discussed in the video before making any final judgments. A person's age is more than a number.